This is a question that I have had for a very long time, years, because I always told myself that if I'm going to answer this question, I want to be able to have the image of one person, only one person, for me to focus on, discuss, and inspire my response to this. And I guess that the best thing that I can start off with is by describing what a treasure is. A treasure is, of course, something that you protect with everything that you have, something that you're not willing to lose, you're not willing to damage, you're not willing for anything bad to happen to it. It becomes, I don't want to say the center of your universe because I think that's a very harmful thing, but it is something that you really go out of your way to maintain. I thought there are people who you can undoubtedly treasure. What is it like to have a person as a treasure? What traits does that person have? What feeling do they invoke within you? What must they do to achieve such a role? And I think that for me, it's very simple, but it can seem to be a little bit of high maintenance at the same time. The individual who I treasure is one that kind of reciprocates it, and I can feel it. It's agreements in which both parties can benefit equally or lose equally. But maybe today you are the one who's benefiting the most, but in the future, something is going to happen to where I end up benefiting in a way that it balances out whatever I may be losing in this time around. The psychological effect that this person may have, for me, has to be the thing that I value the most. It comes in the form of me being able to present myself at my very best, at my very worst, and I can still see, feel, perceive, and prove that you're still the same person, that I don't have to have any reservations. I don't have to fear saying something. I don't have to prepare myself to deliver a speech, an expression. I can exist very comfortably around this person, and I also know that they have my safety and interests as a priority, because that's the same thing that I deliver for them. For instance, anytime I have a passenger with me, I would never drive like a clown. I never drive like a clown. But I'm saying that when there's another life accompanying me, it makes me want to take even more precaution. One of the things that I hate about having a passenger here is that the person's head creates a blind spot. Therefore, I have to make adjustments and put even more effort into driving safely than I already do. And that's what I mean could serve as an example of how, well, it's not just about me, it's about this person. So just because this person is blinding me, I'm going to turn into a shit driver because, well, you're blocking my sight, therefore you're a liability now. You are making me more prone to mistakes and stuff like that. Nothing like that. In conclusion, a person who I treasure is one that conforms to the definition that I provided earlier. It's an individual that I don't want to lose. And the reason I don't want to lose them is because I see how much they make my life better. It could be even worse than what it is, but I am not costing anything to this person. My mere existence is not a burden on this person. Their existence in my life is not a burden either. Somehow, we are able to get through life. We are able to get by, and I never feel like I need to take a break from this person. And I thought that I would share something like this because sometimes I feel like when we're describing other people, when we're talking about other people, we're not really highlighting positive traits. And I know I'm a victim of that. Like, this channel for me has been a healing journey that I never thought this would really turn into, because I always thought, well, even though this channel resembles how I speak to myself in my journals, I didn't know how different it would be to actually use my voice and look at myself saying this as opposed to just observing the letters that I write on pages, putting a voice to it, whatever my mental voice sounds like. A person who I treasure is someone who I feel like I can see myself through their eyes, and I can immediately be inspired by their influence. I am incredibly hard to influence, as you guys can imagine. Selling something to me is difficult. Convincing me about something is difficult. Usually, if I don't take the initiative to find something out, I'm really not listening to you. But if we are actually something already, we are friends or at the very least close colleagues, then yeah, I can say I will dedicate attention to you. But me giving attention to someone is something that takes a lot of energy because I take it seriously. I like to retain the information I'm receiving. I allow for that stimulus to have an impact in me, social stimulus. And to me, that's just more draining than a 3-hour workout and then an 8-hour shift, and me doing that consecutively, endlessly, for years. One interaction can exhaust me more than, say, 5 years of work can do to me. And even if that doesn't make sense, I can prove it many times over that I don't dread showing up somewhere and doing work more than I dread potentially running into someone who I don't believe is good for me. So yeah, in conclusion, a treasure for me, as you can imagine, it matches the definitions that I gave earlier. Defend this person, keep them in my life. I try to make things right. I never try to sour anything. And not that I'm out here doing that to people, but what I'm saying is that I put all of my effort. It's not negotiable for this person to just not exist in my life anymore. I can be indifferent about pretty much the entire population, but the person who I treasure is the one person who I can say that everything about them has an impact on me, and I can genuinely feel it. I thought that I would put this out there because I never really hear people describing people as treasures, and I think that I have more joy spending time with people more than, I experience joy more from what I'm able to get from something. Say, I just bought a brand new car, therefore this feeling. I can say I'm going to visit someplace overseas, therefore no other feeling has surpassed me encountering the person who I treasure. And it's a special kind of euphoria that it's something that no other achievement in my life can surpass. And I wish that I could call this person by name and describe them entirely, but I don't want to necessarily put them on the spot and give everything away. But I just wanted to create this topic and let you know that to me, something that impresses me in this world is a person. A person impresses me more than any invention, any object, any travel experience, any skill, any ability, something like that can have. It's your mere existence. Your thoughts, maybe even your physical traits can reinforce that, but it's that aura about you that impresses me. That is something that I treasure. Because I have experienced that, I describe it as my treasure. Because even when I have gotten things that I have wanted, I cannot say it compares to the aura that I feel when you run into the right person and this right person is helping you thrive in your own element. That's the best way to describe what me treasuring a person is. And I want you to describe what you imagine, if you have never thought about this before, your treasured person to inflict upon you. What kind of feeling, what kind of influence, what kind of impact do they have on you? And describe it as best as possible. Because for me, I want to be a little reserved on that one, but at least within the definition, you can get an idea of what, based on what you know about me from observing me all this time in the channel, for me to declare them my treasure, what kind of traits they possess.